In the dark mornings of the 5th century, the heart of Europe beat with fear. Kings were sleepless, cities strengthened their defensive walls, and priests raised their prayers. For there was a shadow coming from the east. A name that alone was terror. At the sound of his name, children fell silent, armies scattered, and emperors begged for peace. The man who went down in history as the Scourge of God, Attila. Attila was born around 406 AD, in the region of present-day Hungary. He came from a noble family of the great Hunnic Empire. From a young age, he was raised learning the arts of war, politics, and diplomacy. During his time held as a hostage in Rome, he came to understand the true nature of the Western world up close. At that time, there were two great Romes, the Byzantine Empire in the east, and the Western Roman Empire in the west. Both had already begun to rot from within, and the storm from the east had yet to arrive. In 434 AD, Attila rose to power alongside his brother Bleda as co-rulers of the Huns. However, this dual leadership did not last long. According to some sources, Attila had Bleda killed and became the sole ruler. Attila was no longer just a leader, he was a storm. He marched on the Eastern Roman Empire. The Balkans were burned and ravaged. In fear, the Byzantine Empire agreed to pay tribute. Every year, gold, silk, and captives were sent. In 447, he invaded Thrace and the land stretching all the way to Greece. He reached the gates of Constantinople. But instead of breaching the walls, he delivered a message: I can come whenever I wish. Byzantium bought peace. But it was only a brief pause. Attila had now set his sights on the west. In 451, Attila entered Gaul, modern-day France, with a massive army. He advanced with warriors from the Vandals, Alans, Gepids, and Ostrogoths. Opposing him stood Western Roman general Aetius and the Visigoths. The Battle of the Catalonian Plains became one of the bloodiest clashes in history. The outcome was uncertain, but Europe breathed a deep sigh of relief. Attila had not been defeated, but he had been stopped. For now. In 452, Attila marched once more, this time into Italy. The reason was a ring and a plea for help sent by Honoria, a princess of the Western Roman Empire. Attila saw it as a marriage proposal, and for a dowry, he demanded Rome itself. He devastated northern Italy. But after a mysterious meeting with Pope Leo I, he suddenly withdrew. Why did he stop? Was it disease? Military exhaustion? Or a secret agreement with the Pope? History still does not know the answer. In 453, on the night of his wedding, Attila died unexpectedly. Some say it was from a nosebleed, others believe he was poisoned. When Attila died, his enemies celebrated, but the Huns were in mourning. His funeral was held in secret. The location of his tomb remains unknown. According to legend, he was placed in coffins of gold and silver, and those who buried him were killed to keep the secret. History is still searching for his grave. After Attila's death, a struggle for the throne broke out among his sons. The Hunnic Empire quickly fell apart. But the mark he left behind was never erased. For centuries, the peoples of Europe spoke of him like a nightmare. In German legends, he was Etzel, in the Norse sagas, a feared warrior. The Hungarians consider him an ancestor, and the Turkic world remembers him as a great ruler of the steppe. Was Attila truly a punishment sent by God to mankind? Or was he simply a great leader fighting to keep his people alive? History remembers him as ruthless. But he built an empire, brought both Roman empires to their knees, and even 1,500 years after his death, his name has not been forgotten. Attila became a legend. And legends are eternal. If you were inspired by Attila's story in this video, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. In the next episode, we'll uncover the untold sides of another historical figure. History lives on, as long as it is told.